In this video, I'm going to be showing you end to end why we've built and constructed the best voice AI platform in the entire world, and how it's different from every other provider you see out there, and how it's so completely revenue driving focused. Most of these voice AI platforms are out there allow you to connect to your different APIs, let you connect to Zapier, Make.com, N8N. That's awesome, but all in all, we wanted to create an all-in-one solution that allows you to just do the functions with inside of the system, book directly to your CRM with no middleman, and book revenue to your top line and bottom line of your company. So watch along. I'll show you guys exactly how this is going to work.
Dr. Singh, I saw you submitted a form online and just had a minute to get back to you. Is that right?
No, this is James. Emmerich's next to me though.
Oh, gotcha. Thanks for letting me know, James. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing, thank you.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. So I see you submitted a form. Are you having any dental pain right now? Or are you exploring options for a new primary care dentist?
I just want a new primary care dentist. We just moved to the area.
Totally cool. Welcome to the area. It's great that you're looking for a new dentist.
I'm going to show you guys why most voice AI platforms are failing and why most will fail, because there's a lot of people that are trying to come into the space and think that they know exactly what they're doing, but in reality, they just don't. So frustrating latency issues. Okay, so most of the platforms out there have an issue with latency. The latency is just determined by the amount of time that it takes for the AI to respond to the human after the response is initiated. So usually this frustration of this latency is created by the voice AI platform actually going to the language model to get its response. Okay, and also they have unnatural, like robotic voices. They're using DeepGram or 11 Labs voices that are just 100% computer generated. You need studio recorded real human voices attached with 11 Labs or DeepSeek to create the most realistic robotic voices with breathing sounds, laughing, emotions, and they call it temperature in the space. So also, this is hands down the biggest reason why every voice AI platform is going to fail, is because their calls get flagged as spam. Okay, they also have clunky integration, and then there's extra costs. So you're paying for all these extra platforms. You're paying for Zapier, you're paying for Go High Level, you're paying for Make.com, you're paying for N8N, and now you've just concurred a cost of, let's just say $2,000 a month just to build this one platform, where you could have just got some VAs that could work 24 hours just calling your leads. And yes, they don't sound the best, but they are human. And at the end of the day, now you're just costing yourself extra money. So this space has become very expensive with all these extra tools, and that get very, very clunky. So that is why everybody fails. So I'm going to show you what we've done to kind of solve these, so you can just implement them yourselves, whether you want to use us or just do it yourself. I'm just going to show you behind the curtains of everything. So I'm gonna go to the next slide here. So we have the lowest latency in the entire industry. It's 30 plus milliseconds faster than any other platform out there, and here's why. We do what's called word caching. What we do is we cache all the words and the thousands and hundreds of thousands of conversations that are happening on our platform on a day-to-day basis into our database, so the AI actually doesn't need to go to the language model to get its words of what it's going to say. It's just going to get its response, and then it's going to go to our database to grab the words that it's going to respond to. And that alone is why we have the lowest latency in the entire world of voice AI. And here's what even crazier about this experience that our clients are going to receive is the lower cost of LLM, because you don't have to go to the language model to grab the actual response, because you have those words already concurred in your database. So that is why we have ultra low latency, and the lowest latency that I know of on the market. So next is just the natural speech that I talked about with you guys. You need human created, not robotic, not computer generated voices in your system. And we have I think we have over 89 voices on the platform now, most of which we've already cloned ourselves in-house, so you can also come on the platform and clone your own voice if you want to as well. So headed back over here, next is the spam protection. Okay, me personally, I've invested over $33,000 on direct relationships with the 7 main spam mitigators inside of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. So we have a whole remediation team of about 30 people that sit there every single 24 hours, and they're submitting your business information along with the phone numbers every 24 hours to these carriers saying, James has a legit business. James is making legit calls, and they're reporting so that your calls aren't marked as spam. Also, on top of that, people like to talk about CPS or calls per second, and they want to make thousands of calls per second. But the reality is that there is a limit of 50 calls per day per DID, per phone number, in order for it to not trigger the algorithm of the carriers, and that's with AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. And this is actually after meeting with the executive teams over at these specific carriers, and they tell us that the second that a specific DID or phone number gets over 50 calls on it, it immediately triggers the algorithm to look at that number and see what it's doing. And if it's doing spam-like activity, guess what, buddy? You're getting marked as spam likely. Now, scam likely is a total different game. If your number gets marked as scam likely and then gets blocked by the carriers, imagine your pickup rate. So let me do some math here for you guys real quick. Over the time of our platform, we found that increasing clients' pickup rates by just 5% can increase their bottom line by 17%. So if you do the math, if we can increase pickup rates by 10%, 15%, or 20%, or if you're an agency or a white label partner, you could come on and use our platform to increase your client's contact rate by, let's just say 5%. And right then and there, now you're telling the business owner, I'm going to increase your bottom line revenue by 17%. And I can show you what those numbers look like on that. That's absolutely insane value to be able to provide to the clients. Okay. The second thing is it's all in one. That's why we're the best. Everything's all in one. You have built-in calendar integration. We connect directly with Google. We connect directly with Google Meet. You can integrate your calendars. All of your conversations are in there as well through text, email, and phone calls. So it's an all-in-one powerhouse for everything. So thirdly is really just the response speed. So this is just in comparison to other providers, right? The voice naturalness, the call quality, the integration, and then the setup and support. People want to feel like in this AI space that they're actually supported along the way of their journey. There's a lot of agencies out there that are turn and burn agencies out here selling like VAPI or retail or in integrations. And those integrations just aren't secure because you're selling templates and these data is getting lost in translation. And they're, these clients, these dental practices and these doctors and chiropractors, they need HIPAA-compliant solutions that are all in one and inclusive, and that they're gonna get the top level of support that they need. I'll tell you one thing right now, if you're selling AI in 2025 and you don't position yourself as a long-term 20-year, 30-year partnership with these clients, they will not take you serious, and you are not taking yourself serious, and you should either change your business model or quit doing what you're doing right now and just go do something else and not ruin it for the rest of the industry. So the goal is to come to these business owners, figure out all the holes, all the leaks in the roof that you can patch, pick one of the biggest leaks that you can patch, and start patching it to increase the revenue from this first day they join the platform until the last day that they're on it, which will be they'll never leave if you give the level of support, client support that we give, which is, if you're making somebody an ROI, why would they ever cancel? That's why, we're different. It's like, okay, I could get this client on and he could pay me $500, or he could pay me, $7,000, and, maybe that's going to pay my rent for 2 months, but after that, or my mortgage bill for 2 months, but after that, what do I have to do? I have to keep going and chasing more clients, chasing. So we built a platform that will keep clients on because they're getting a positive ROI every single time. Clear, point blank. I don't want to sugarcoat it at all. That's exactly what we've done here. So next thing, if you're watching this, being able to just track your numbers and be able to see exactly what's going on with your campaigns on a day-to-day basis. Are you getting a negative response with your clients, right? Are they responding to the AI well? Well, guess what? You can track that in the dashboard and you can see what's going on with your campaigns. You can see the appointments. You can see if the users are hanging up, if you're getting a positive sentiment or a negative sentiment. This is a client that just onboarded. Let me just go to, our account right here and go to dashboard, and, looks like yesterday, let's look at yesterday, we booked 12 appointments, and you could see which AI agents booked those appointments from which companies. You could see the amount of calls that went out. the call directions, you know, was it outbound, was it inbound? And then of course the user sentiment, are you getting a positive response, right? And then the disconnection reasons and the pickup rate, which I talked about. Yesterday, which was July 18th, and that's today, we're already at a 50% pickup rate when most of the industry is at a 0 to 20% because their numbers are just showing up as spam. So you get a spam dashboard where you're able to come in here and look at these numbers. Okay, these are all clean with AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. They're clean, they're not marked with the FCC or the FTC or any of these other spam robocall blockers. So all in all, the usability of the platform, the integration, not having to use all these other different, you know, softwares to connect the voice AI is why this platform right here is by far the best voice AI platform in the entire world. And I don't pay attention to my competitors. So see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And this is my first YouTube video I'm making on this channel. So hope you guys have a good one. Peace out. Let's go.